and then I can start with the content. All right, hi everyone, and welcome to another live session from the series How to Get a Professional Job in Australia. And in this is live session number 74. So it means that for 74 weeks, I am here every week delivering free content to you guys, sharing my knowledge and sharing some information to help you guys in your validation of your engineering qualification here in Australia, and also to help you to get your first professional job here in Australia. And in this live session, I will be talking about 5 hints for a stronger professional interview that I hope will increase your chances to be selected as a successful candidate. And Aline in Instagram, she's saying that she's civil engineer. Yeah, thanks, Aline. Where are you from? Are you from any special country like, Brazil, Colombia, India, Pakistan? I've got my audience all spread around the world, which is interesting. Yeah, but first, for those that don't know me, my name is Gerson Ida, and I'm the founder of www.engineersinaustralia.com, a website to share content of value and useful information to help you in your journey to validate your engineering qualification in Australia. And I also share information about workplace health and safety, environmental management, and day-to-day of engineering in Australia, and about professional engineering recruitment as well. And I can see that I think Vinicius Souza joined in Instagram, and he's the lucky one that got my 15 minutes free consulting. Remember that I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I was almost 1,000 followers in my Instagram, and I posted a picture with the 999 followers, and I asked you guys, my followers, to mark somebody, and if that somebody was the follower number 1000, I was going to give a 15-minute free consulting. And Vinicius Souza was the one that marked somebody, and that somebody followed me. So I contacted already Vinicius, and we will be probably during the workshop, we'll be doing a 15 minutes free consulting. Yeah, thanks for that. And Aline, she's saying that she's living in Sydney. Civil engineer living in Sydney. Yeah, thank you guys. What about you, Robson, in YouTube? Are you from Brazil? Are you still in Brazil? You're probably Brazilian because you said bom dia. So, and what sort of engineer are you? Okay. And for those that don't know, I would like to let you know that I have confirmed the dates for the next free workshop, Engineering Qualification Validation. And it's going to start from next Sunday, 29th of November, 2020 at 10 a.m. Brisbane time. And the opening webinar of the free workshop is going to be 10 a.m. next Sunday, Brisbane time. Is going to be 9 p.m. in Brasilia time in Brazil. And I believe that in Colombia, I think it's 3 hours early. So it's going to be, I think, 7 p.m. on the Saturday. And Brazil is going to be, Brazil is going to be 9 p.m. on a Saturday. And the free workshop is going to run from one Sunday, the 29th of November, until the Sunday after, the 6th of December. So it's going to be quite a few days, about 8 days, and with a lot of content. I tried to prepare a lot of content. There will be 3 videos with about 85 minutes of a lot of content for you guys. So you can learn. Hi, Guilherme, how are you? He's watching YouTube. He's one of my mentoring students. Yeah. No worries, Guilherme, you're thanking, but I thank you for your audience. And if you haven't registered to the workshop yet, I will copy and paste the link for you guys to register. And also, if you know somebody that that would be benefiting in participating in the workshop, you can also share this this link as well. And if you're watching on Instagram, the link to register is in my bio. There is a link tree link, and once you click on that link, it will open up a box. It's the first box there. Okay, and as you know, I like to interact with you guys. And what I will do a little bit later on, I will take a picture as usual of my screen, and I will put a post in my Instagram. And I will spend some time and I will prepare a PDF of tonight's session. So in tonight's session, I'm going to share with you 5 tips for you to increase your chances in a professional interview here in Australia. And I'm going to prepare a PDF. But there's a catch. For you guys to access the PDF, well, the PDF is going to be protected by a password that I'm going to disclose a little bit later on. So stay with me. And second one, I have to have some comments, and you gotta mark somebody in the post. So once I post in Instagram, obviously you can do during the live session, or you can do a little bit after, but you need to put a comment. What was one of the learnings that you had during the live session about a professional interview? Put a comment there. And then mark somebody, obviously, especially an engineer or somebody that will benefit in a professional interview. And then, depending on the number of comments that I have, if I have few comments, I will then put the PDF in my Telegram group. A lot of you guys, they are already part of my Telegram group. And I will put the PDF, which is going to be about probably 2 or 3 pages with these hints, in my Telegram group. And if you haven't joined my Telegram group yet, I will put the link in Facebook so you can join my Telegram group. And also I'm going to put a link in YouTube so you can join from YouTube. And if you're watching from Instagram, you can go to my bio and you can join my Telegram group, which is the Engineering Qualification Validation Group, which is a group that I post audios, videos, and contents about the validation process, job opportunities, and job recruitment tips. And then the PDF I'm going to put in the group, protected by a password that I'm going to release a little bit later on. And nowadays, currently today, the group has 801 members. So 801 engineers pretty much that are very interested in validating their qualification in Australia. And we do a little bit of discussion in the group as well. And if you have a particular question about when you are going to a professional interview, put in the comments here. A little bit later on, I will look at the questions, and I will answer those questions. If you have any particular question about the professional interview. So let's get down to the business. And I'm really happy to be here and share my experience. And some of you may be thinking, Jerson, but you are a civil engineer. Why are you talking about how to get a professional job in Australia? How to maximize your chances to be selected as a successful candidate during a professional interview? Why? Why is that? And the explanation is that since 2008, or even before, probably since 2006, probably when I got my first professional job here in Australia, I have been recruiting and I have been interviewing lots and lots of engineers and project managers. And also, since 2006, since I got my first professional job, I have successfully applied for many jobs and many promotions as well. So But really what gave me probably the experience in sharing with you guys this information is because I have hired already, I lost count, probably about 50 engineers and project managers. And if you think that every time that I have a recruitment process, I ended up getting 20, 30, 50, 70 applications, and I read the curriculums, cover letters, and I sit in the interviews of those. I certainly learned a lot about what the successful candidates they did and what the unsuccessful candidates they did and they didn't do as well. All right, so a little bit about the professional interview. So what is the professional interview? Well, first, in a recruitment process here in Australia, there's certainly a lot of types of recruitment processes around the world, but here in Australia I can talk with property because I already participated, and usually I am the chair of the panel. And after going through the CV analysis, your curriculum vitae analysis, and cover letter screening, usually the recruitment company or the employer or the HR department, they do the screening of your cover letter and your curriculum vitae, and then you get that phone call. I am pleased to invite you to the professional interview of the position that you applied as an engineer or as a project manager or whatever was the professional role. And then from this moment on, you begin to think about several situations, especially you that are an international student. Like me, when I was an international student here in Australia back in 2005, 2006, you start thinking about, when was my last professional interview? And a lot of you guys, I know, you are here for like 4 or 5 years. And perhaps it's been a while that you participated in a professional interview. So you think about, when was my last professional interview? What was the feedback I received when I was unsuccessful in that recruitment process? And other questions, simple questions. What sort of clothes will I wear during the professional interview? Should I wear a suit? Should I wear more casual? Should I wear a smart casual? Even those sort of questions. The other question you'll probably ask yourself, should I focus on the technical or management areas? Who will be part of the interview panel? So these are just some of the questions, or few of many questions that will pop up immediately after this phone call or email. Obviously, it's a very good email or phone call because being shortlisted to a professional interview is getting you closer to get a professional job. Obviously, I know a lot of people that they send lots and lots of resumes, lots and lots of cover letters, and they never get a professional interview. So although it could be a little bit scary to get that phone call that you've been shortlisted and you will attend a professional interview, but be happy because this is the first step closer to get a professional job. So regardless of your doubts, there are a few tips that I would like to share with you to increase your hiring chances. So here we go. So the first topic that I put in the event description was, how is the professional interview in Australia? A lot of people probably don't know how usually is the professional interview. Obviously, depending on the employer and depending on the recruitment agency, the process may vary. But in general, there is a panel of interviewers. So we're going to forget and not going to talk about the CV, a cover letter, and shortlisting. But let's pretend, or let's assume that you received that phone call and you have been shortlisted. So what's going to happen is that obviously there will be a time and a date, etc. And usually there is a panel of interviewers. sometimes 3 people, sometimes 4 people. I already sat in interviews with 5 people in the panel. And usually those people, let's say that it's an interview panel with 3 people. Usually it's an expert of the area. Your potential supervisor or future supervisor also could be in that panel, and sometimes a representative from a HR department, just to make sure that the process is being followed, etc. In the professional interview, let's say that you are booked, let's say for tomorrow, Monday, 9 a.m. in the morning. And it consists about 1 hour. Usually the interview is about 1 hour. And majority of the companies and recruitment agencies, they provide you with a little bit of time before the interview. They ask you to arrive between 15 and 30 minutes before the interview. And they actually give you the questions that the panel is going to ask you during the interview. It could be questions, or it could be a scenario or a hypothetical scenario describing a problem, and then you need then to think about how you're going to develop a solution for that problem in that 15 or 30 minutes. And then during the professional interview, which is about 45, 1 hour, you have to then develop and present the answers of the questions or the potential solution or solutions for that scenario. And obviously, they got to be related to the selection criteria or key competencies. And then once you have that time, let's say 15 minutes, you will answer the questions, or you will develop your presentation about that scenario. And also the panel can ask you if you have any question about the role that you're going to be performing if you're successful, or even about the interview process. And once you finalize the answers or once you finalize the description of your solution for that scenario, the panel may ask further questions if they need a little bit more clarification, and we'll let you know a likely time frame for the outcome, and we'll also confirm references. A lot of people, they ask me, Jason, can I use a presentation? Usually when they invite you to the professional interview, they actually ask you if you need a PowerPoint presentation, or if you need any other media. And nowadays with COVID, it's very common for the interviews to be also via Skype or Zoom or any other online tool. The other topic that I listed was that how do I demonstrate my abilities? That's a very common question as well. And the short answer is answer the questions with real examples. So don't talk about hypothetical examples. I would do this, I should do this, or I could do this. So when the panel of interviewers, they ask the questions, they are usually interested in knowing how you handled a real problem rather than the specific answer itself. So try to explore the answer with the following structure. So you first give the background of the project or the problem that you did. It's always important to explore an example of something that you actually did. And then describe the problem-solving methodology that you used. It's really, really important that the examples need to be real. You got to explore a real example, the outcomes, the results, what did you do, how did you go about working with the team, how did you go about working with the customer, how did you go about working with other stakeholders. So how do I demonstrate your abilities? When you use a real example, it's very easy to demonstrate your abilities because you're describing a problem, you are then describing how did you do to solve that problem. I've got already some questions in Facebook, and I'll go, Kamal Sharma, he asked a question. I'll go back very, very soon. The other topic that I listed in the description was, am I the right candidate? So how do you know that you are the right candidate? And the tip is, demonstrate that you are the solution for the pain or pains of the work opportunity. So you need to try to identify what pains the company is trying to solve by recruiting this job vacancy. Just remember, when a company, they advertise for a position, it's because they need somebody to be, for example, the solution of a pain, a solution of a problem. And you got to make sure that you are the person that's going to solve that pain. So the research that you have done during your CV and the cover letter will certainly help you to understand these pains. Sometimes you don't know, but when you research on the website, when you talk to the recruitment agent, they may disclose, they may talk about a potential pain. What is the problem that the company is trying to solve? And you need to be clever to capture that detail. And then when you are doing your professional interview, you got to make sure that you transpire that you are, let's say, the remedy of that pain. So, and with the knowledge of the pains, of course, you can come to the interview and address the solution of those pains in your answers. Remember, if your potential future supervisor is part of the panel, that supervisor will certainly know what the pain is. And if you can address the solution or a potential solution for that pain, the supervisor will certainly be impressed and you will be increasing your chances to be selected. The other topic that I listed was, what should I explore during a professional interview? So many things, and 45 minutes seems to be a lot of time. But when you talk about 4 or 5, sometimes 6, 7 selection criteria that you gotta address, which means that you will have to answering about 6 or 7 questions, 45 minutes is not really a lot of time. So amongst all of the things that you need to explore, I would say that it's really, really important as a panel member and as a panel chair. I would like to hear from candidates, for example, what are your strengths? What's your skills and competencies? The concrete results that you achieved. I don't want to know, as a panel chair or member, what's your potential to resolve a problem. If I have a pain, I want to know, when you had that similar pain, what did you do and what did you achieve? Because theoretical engineers, there's a lot. But companies today, they don't have time for theoretical engineers. They need engineers that they already solved that problem. They know how to solve that problem, and they will solve that problem in your company as well. So, and that's why it's important to use real examples. When you start saying, well, if I have that problem, I will do this, or I should do that, etc., it's not good, because it doesn't really prove that you did it. But if you say, yeah, I understand your problem, and interesting that I had already a similar problem in my previous company, and when I resolved that problem, I did this. And then you describe what you did, and the results that I achieved was those ones. So it shows to the panel member that, one, you're competent because you already done that activity. You can demonstrate your skills because you already solved that problem. Also, another thing that you should explore is your ability to solve problems. Also, your teamwork capabilities. And you got to understand that mainly you need to address the requested selection criteria. So, interesting to read very carefully the position description when they advertise the position. The position description will have the selection criteria, or will have the key competencies. You got to make sure that when you're exploring your answers, you got to address the selection criteria and key competencies. And I'm going to answer some of the questions. I'll go back and have a look. Yeah, Kamal Sharma in Facebook, he asked, what about the internship for student? Any solution, please? Yeah, internship for student. Well, there are some companies that they advertise for internship, and the process is still the same. For example, in our company, we have recruited many interns, and the process is similar. You advertise a position for intern. There are some selection criteria. There are some key competencies. We shortlist the same way, and then we also interview the candidates for the internship. And the process is the same. You got to address, you may, as an intern, you may not have had the experience, obviously, because you are intern, you're probably still a student, but you can explore problems that you resolved during your academic experience. When I was doing this subject, during the assessment, I had this problem, and then I did this to resolve that problem. These were the options, etc., etc. I work in a team. Our group was kind of 5 people resolving that problem or in that project, and I was leading the group, or was part just as a group member. So you can give real examples of when you did something in your academic experience as well. Let's have a look in Instagram if there is any question there. Yeah, thanks, Flavi. Best tip ever. Just really never thought about it. Why are they hiring? To seize the pain? Yeah, obviously. Companies, it costs a lot of money to hire somebody. Because you gotta advertise a position, you gotta recruitment companies, you got ongoing costs with salaries and passives, industrial relation, liabilities, etc. So it costs a lot of money for the company, and the company just is willing to spend that money because they have probably a bigger pain to seize, and that's why they recruit people. They recruit people to put an end to that pain. What else? All right. Preferred behavior. Yeah, and the last thing about the last tip is about the preferred behavior. So the question is, what is the preferred behavior? And before I do that, what I'll do, I will take a picture and I'll put a post in my Instagram. So I'm going to take a picture of our session there. So hello, and I'm going to post now in my Instagram, and I would like you to make a comment with one learning that you are having in this live session. And then I would like to ask you to mark another engineer about this post. And then depending how many people we've got live here, we've got 12 people in Instagram, and we've got how many people in Facebook? We've got about, I don't know how many people in Facebook. We've got 5 people in Facebook, and we've got how many people in, we've got 6 people in YouTube. So we've got about 20 people. So I would like to see at least 5 comments and I would like to see another 5 people that you marked. So I'm going to post now in Instagram, and I'm going to write, what did you learn in our live session about professional And the reason why I'm asking you guys to mark somebody and put a comment is that I'm going to spend a lot of time and I'm going to prepare a PDF of this session of tonight, and I'm going to post in my Telegram group. So you can have access to the PDF with the 5 tips to maximize your chances during a professional interview. So I would like you to interact with me. So what did you learn in our live session about professional interviews? So I'd like to see at least 5 comments and 5 people marked. So okay. And I'm going to share now. Yes, I think it's shared. So as you can see, I just post in Instagram. So if you can put a comment there and mark different people, or five comments and 5 different people in my Instagram post, and then I will prepare the PDF, and I'm actually going to put the PDF in my Telegram. And the Telegram, and the PDF is going to be protected by a password that I'm going to release towards the end of this session. So stay with me. So what is the preferred behavior? The preferred behavior during a professional interview, and obviously this is just from my observations as a panel chair, as a panel member in more than, I don't know, lost count, said already, more than 50 engineers and project managers and other officers that are already recruited. 1, it is important to be natural and smile. So usually when you are entering the interview room, there will be 3, 4, 5 people sitting there, and it's important for you to be smiling. Obviously, you're not going to fake a smile, but be natural and smile. Obviously, you could be very nervous, especially if you are here in Australia for many years. It's been a while that you don't really sit in an interview. You could be very nervous. So if you're very nervous and you cannot smile, please don't smile, because it's going to be, it will look very, very fake. Another important thing in terms of behavior is that you need to be assertive with your answers. So when the panel, they ask you a question, you got to be assertive. Do not overcomplicate with your answers, and do not overcomplicate with your examples. Being assertive is being very objective. Sometimes if you need to give a little bit of background, you can give just a little bit of background, but don't go too far. Give a bit of background and then go straight to the answer. It's really important in terms of your behavior for you to follow the technique of the problem solving. The panel members, or usually panels, they like a lot when candidates, they use the technique of the problem solving. And what is that? Is 1, to describe the problem, 2, talk about the options that you came up with, the pros and cons of each of those options, and then the rationale behind when you choose a preferred option, and then how did you go about implementing that option, and what were the results achieved. So if you cover this problem resolution method or technique, panels usually they appreciate that. And if the panel asks you a particular question and if you don't know an answer, be honest and just say that you don't know, but you're willing to learn and you're willing to research. Obviously, if it is a key question that you should know, and if you don't know, obviously your interview is not going to be good. But if it is an accessory question, it's a side question that the panel is asking, which is not really part of the selection criteria, etc. And if you don't know, just be honest. Just say, Sorry, but I don't know that answer. But I'm happy to research and come back to you guys, or I'm willing to learn if I'm given the opportunity to this job. All right. Just going to check if is there any other question there. Just checking here on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. All right. Any other last question? I got already 45 minutes almost. So in conclusion, the interview certainly can be very daunting for many candidates, can be scary for many candidates. And we often forget that people in the selection panel are just people like us, looking not for someone to fill the advertised position, but to select a candidate that brings value to the company. Remember, when a company is recruiting somebody, they are investing a lot of money. I think I've mentioned in previous lives before, usually a recruitment process costs to the company between $15,000 and $25,000. And it's a lot of money. And for the company to invest that money in terms of hours and time and services of a recruitment company, etc., they're really willing to select somebody that will resolve that problem. So think and take the interview very seriously. Do your homework. Research about the company. Research about the projects that the company is delivering. If you receive in your email or letter the name of the panel members, research about them. Know their background, because it's important so you can kind of try to establish a rapport with the panel member. So be ready for the interview. Know how to analyze the job opportunity. Watch people from the moment you arrive at the interview venue, especially if the interview location is at the company. Observe how others they work. Observe how the company, what's the culture of the other employees. Observe what's the culture of the company, so you can then try to use that information in your favor during the professional interview. Those information can give you some insight in the company's culture. And don't forget that in the next Sunday, we will start our free workshop, Engineering Qualification Validation, which is to help you to fulfill your dream to be recognized as an engineer in Australia. And if you haven't registered yet, you just need to use the link that I put in the comments, or probably for those ones that arrive a little bit later, I'm going to paste again the link in Facebook, paste again the link in YouTube, and if you're watching in Instagram, it's in my bio. And then next Sunday, 29th of November, which is the first day of the workshop, 10 a.m. Brisbane time, we're going to have the opening webinar. And during this live webinar, I will be explaining how the free workshop is going to work. And also we're going to have a partner with us, Pacific Center, a representative from Pacific Center, which is education and migration company. They will be explaining their services and also what they can offer in terms for you to advance with your migration journey. And also during the webinar, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest barriers that engineers they face when they are validating their qualification, which is procrastination, and how you can overcome that. And that's 10 a.m. next Sunday, Brisbane time. And then obviously next Sunday we still have our Instagram, YouTube and Facebook session, live session, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time. And then in this session I will have a special guest as well, Veronica Cisneros from Site Institute. And a lot of you guys know, but Site Institute, they have engineering courses that can help you in your pathway for the migration. So she's going to share with us information about the engineering courses that Site Institute they have. So I'll have a quick look how we're going with the Instagram comments. Let me see how we're going. Where do I see that? Here. Yeah, we've got where is that? Yeah, we've got a couple of comments. I learned the best tip I ever heard in my career life. Why do companies hire people? Just to seize the pain, and I need to be the person who will do it. Best tip ever. Yeah, thanks, Fabi. And Edson, he said, first I learned, be objective. Very good. All right. So I asked 5 comments, but I'll be nice with you guys. I will put the PDF in my Telegram, and the password, I'm going to take notes here so I don't forget. The password is going to be, let me see what the password is going to be. It's going to be professional interview all together. So I'm going to put in the comments professional interview. I can't put in the comments, but it's going to be professional interview all together without a space. So professional interview is going to be the password for the PDF that I'm going to post in my Telegram group. So if you're not part of the Telegram group, I put in the comments the link to be part of the Telegram group. I can put it again if you don't have it. And those one in Instagram, you can go to my bio, and then there's a link. Once you click on that link, the second box is my Telegram group. I post again in Facebook and YouTube. So the password for the Telegram group is going to be, I'll put in there. I'll put it there. So what did I say it was going to be? It was going to be professional interview. So I'm going to put in Facebook, Instagram, professional interview. Professional interview. So I posted in the post that I just did, I post the password. Those ones that are not in the live session, they're not going to know. I'm going to put in YouTube and Facebook. So it's just a word there, nobody will know. Just those ones that watch the live session or the replay. All right. If I don't really have any other question or comment, I would like to thank you guys very much. And just a second. Now, professional interview is all in small caps. There's no capital letter in the password. So professional interview is just small fonts. So I'd like to see you next Sunday, 10 a.m. Brisbane time, during the live webinar, and the link to the webinar will be sent to your email. So when you register to the workshop, you will receive an email with the link to the webinar. I'm going to use a Zoom platform, and the link is going to be sent to your email. Very important to save my name and my email address in your favorites, in your contacts, so the emails, they don't really go to the junk mailbox. All right. I would like to thank you guys very much. and I hope to see you next Sunday. I'll see you there.